The Kellogg Foundation was so kind as to give us a grant to start reporting and covering the issue of African American maternal health in the United States. And like everyone who trips over this issue, you go, what? It's this bad. It's sort of like I knew about it because I read the stories in the newspapers, but you don't see any amplification. It's just like, oh, black women are supposed to die, about 3 or 4 times more often than white women, And that's sort of the end of the discussion. And everyone knows it's because they're poor, so why are you bothering us? They should not be poor. So that was sort of the baseline of my knowledge when we got involved in this project. And the wonderful thing about being a journalist is you get to find out more and more and more and more. And if you go to our website, African American Maternal Health, A Legacy and a Future, that was my title because we know how to fix it. It just takes the political will to fix it. And I hope that that is our future. And then we were thrilled to find out that Tonya Lewis Lee, who I hope you read the profile of Women's eNews, lawyer, First Amendment, left the big bucks and began to produce TV, films, right?
Yes.
Do I have all this one in my memory?
Close enough.
Close enough. And then she heard about African American infant mortality, and she had the same reaction, like, excuse me, this is going on? And how could not everybody not know it? And she has taken on this incredible responsibility to be, the official title was the ambassador, right?
Well, spokesperson.
Spokesperson. In the UN, they always say ambassador. So but we're not going to allow her to go international because it's too important to be in the U.S., as we were talking about. This is a big problem in the U.S. Tonya Lewis Lee has produced this documentary. She is the spokesperson for the Office of Minority
Health.
Minority
Health. The Office of Minority Health. Healthy Baby Begins With You
campaign. But she didn't, she didn't just agree to be the spokesperson. She's created this incredible documentary, and she's been persuaded to put way too much of her own personal energy in this issue because it's so important.
It is.
And we are thrilled that you're all here because we expect you to all go out and connect to your networks and begin to communicate because we do know how to fix this. And women and babies are dying unnecessarily.
As Rita said, I joined the Office of Minority Health with the Healthy Baby Begins With You campaign, in 2007. And I initially traveled around the country spreading the word about the issue of infant mortality because, as she said, I didn't know anything about it until the Office of Minority Health came to me. In the second year, we really wanted to do more than just go into these towns and talk about, the things that you can do to prevent infant mortality, or at least, lessen the risk of infant mortality. We were trying to think about ways that we could actually, hopefully, have more of a sustainable impact. And so what you'll see in the film is our preconception peer educators program, which we started, I guess last year. It all has happened so fast, it's hard to believe. But we were on several college campuses where we got college students involved to be the ones who were really ambassadors to their peers about how to be healthy for the future of their children. So you'll see, and Memphis, Tennessee has one of the highest rates of infant mortality in this country. And so we all converged on Memphis, Tennessee for a week doing community outreach, and you'll see in the film.
Thank you.
So we're actually going to be having our kind of spring conference, as it were, in April, and we're having Dr. Michael Liu, who does a lot of work around minority health. He really looks at the life course perspective, and all of his work is really talking about how instead of really trying to correct, maternal health within 9 months, you really have to look at it in a life course perspective, and how really even how when my mother was carrying me, how that kind of wired me for certain health issues and stresses and things like that. And so really just looking at a much longer perspective at our lives and how we can actually improve maternal health, and not just focusing on just prenatal care, but looking at a much larger spectrum for how we can actually improve our general health, how I can improve my daughter's health, and things like that. So we're really looking forward to having him come here in the spring in April. So I hope all of you, will see you all again to hear Dr. Lou speak, because he's really phenomenal, and it's a powerful presentation. So we're excited about that. We'll also be doing some stories along with that, leading up to his presentation about the life course perspective and really what it means to Black women.